All right, we're gonna start with how signal flow travels from the board to the speakers. Okay, so we have our main out, left and right, okay? 1 and 2. All right, sometimes you'll have a third, okay, for subs by themselves. But we're just gonna go from here, okay? Left and right, let's go, boom. Follow this board right down here. And from the board, it goes into a crossover. This little thing down here, okay? From the crossover, we go from the crossover to the EQ. The EQ is right here, okay? In, and then from the EQ, we go out to a power amplifier. Into 1 and 2, and out of 1 and 2, okay? All right, so from the board, we're gonna take that left and right, and we're gonna be going into a crossover. In our crossover setup, we have 2 main outs. We have our tops and our lows. If I pushed in and chose 3-way mono, that would mean we would go out for our top speaker, our mid speakers, and our lows. Imagine if I took these speakers and cut them directly in half. I would have a high, a mid, and then my lows down there. But in this situation, we're just gonna say top, this is gonna handle everything. Past 250 hertz, below 250 hertz is going to be in the subwoofer. Here we can see input 1, okay, and input 2. That's just our left and right. The crossover then is going to split it into 2 different things. It's going to give us our output for our top speakers and our output for our low speaker. It's going to be summed up into 1 channel. So this way we have our mains and our lows. That's just top and bottom. So if we look at the top, if we look at our crossover, when it goes in, we need to determine what part of the frequency spectrum is going to our subwoofer and what part of it is going to our top main monitor speakers, okay? We have 2-way selected by pushing out, okay? Because we're only dealing with 2 signals going out from this crossover into the EQs. I'm gonna say from 0 to about 250 hertz is going to be all set to the subwoofers, okay? Everything else from 250 on, is going to be going to our top speakers, all right? And I can also set the gain for each one, but we want them to be the same because it's the left and right, okay? From our crossover, we're gonna go out of the high, okay? High 1, high 2. That goes into our EQ, okay? And the EQ is gonna be used to get rid of any frequency issues that we may have. In this system, I'm using this EQ for our tops. As you can see, I turned down all the lows because I'm setting all those frequencies to our sub. Everything else from 250 on is what I'm dealing with the main speakers. And I'll adjust these based on feedback issues that I may have. From the EQ, we're going to be going out into our power amplifier. Now let me explain what a power amplifier is. Some speakers have power inside of them already, and when you turn them on, they turn on, and that's it. Power amplifiers are dedicated power for speakers that don't already have power inside of them. These amps have crossovers, but we're not going to use them because we've used a separate crossover to control that based on our environment. If you look at the back of our power amplifier, that's taking the output of the EQ, okay? So we went crossover, and we went out to the first EQ, left and right, so these are for our tops. And we have a third EQ up here for our sub. And just another quick thing about crossovers. Crossovers usually are not used for monitors because monitors just have 1 little speaker and you don't need to separate signals for that. Let's get in real close on these amplifiers here. So once we go, we came out of our crossover for the highs. That's like left and right. Okay, we went into this EQ, then we come out left and right. A and B, we're going into that amplifier, which is gonna power our top speakers. So So if you look closely, super close, you can see that we have options here that we can switch between. We have what's called crossover. We're gonna put that on full range. We already used a crossover. Otherwise, we would tell it which type of frequency would be coming out of the monitors. We put that on full range so it gets the full signal that we got from the crossover that already separated our frequencies. Then we are going to use stereo so that left and right have individual power and sound coming out of them. If I chose bridge, you would get both sides of power in each output that's coming out right here, okay? So these are the outputs, A and B. Those are going to my main speaker on the left and my main speaker on the right. Then we have our other EQ. So when we came out of our low, we go into this EQ up here. We set the EQ, we turn down all the highs and just let that only get the lows so we can send it to our sub. Then we go out into our power amplifier and we make sure that that is on stereo or bridge because it'll just send the full signal to it. And then we'll go out channel 1 into our sub. And we're gonna be using what are called NO4 cables, which are really cool because they have a nice little locking mechanism on them. So I like those a lot. And another thing to know about them, we can also use banana cables, which are another type, or 1/4 inch, which look like this, okay? Those can go out, but we converted it into NO4 because of what the power amplifier does when it goes out.